Problems with passport lounges. So me personally, this is passionate for me, right? Because I worked diligently every single year, monitoring and paying attention to where I am at and every rewards program that I'm a part of, including Delta, Sky Club, benefits, perks. And what I found is that the last flight that I took, there were literally 20 million milers on that flight. And it was so many people that were asking for upgrades. And so I stopped even entertaining it. I just started buying first class flights because, being a platinum or a diamond member does not necessarily guarantee you to get a first class flight if you buy a main cabin flight. They will upgrade you to Delta Plus, but even that is becoming scarce, right? So getting better each day. I'm working on it. You just let me know yesterday. I'm working on that, fam. So I've been paying attention, and what I found is that both Marriott and Hilton and American Express, and when I go into the Sky Club a lot of times, there is a line to get into the Sky Club. And I was like, what the heck is going on here? So Delta has revamped their Sky Club, and multiple different places have revamped their Sky Club to now basically have a higher threshold for you to be able to get into airport lounges. One day I'm going to just be flying private everywhere. I'm not going to have to deal with any of this. I'm going to just be at the Clearport every time I decide to get on a plane, and I'm going to get there. But there is a problem, and people are feeling some type of way about what's going on with airport lounges. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Let's get to it. I'm going to read the super chat shortly.
Airport lounges are popping up everywhere, and almost every major airline and credit card company seems to want to get in on it.
You build in an airport, it's very pricey.
They're spending millions of dollars to attract customers and keep them spending.
Customers reward companies that take care of them, and we feel really strongly that the lounges are a big part of that for us.
If you pay up and you're willing to commit to that airline over the long term and make it like a partner basically for your travel experience, then they're willing to reward you with better perks.
More than half of frequent travelers surveyed visit a lounge at some point during their journeys. But as their popularity increases, so do the challenges of operating them, like overcrowding.
After scavenging the grounds, I finally found a table.
Once again.
Why do every person that then get on TikTok or they use them as a reviewer person or to show what's going on in the culture, it's always somebody talking with a lisp or using a whole bunch of S's. And y'all know what them S's mean. I can't stand it. I'm tired of people using all of these S's.
It is Hunger Games, true Hunger Games, to get into a lounge and actually find a seat.
I would say any wait is too long, and we are doing everything we can to minimize that.
As companies invest more money and effort into improving travel, loyalty status and lounge access are becoming increasingly harder to qualify for. There are over 3,200 airport lounges worldwide. The United States has more than 300 of them, with individual airports in New York, Los Angeles, and San Francisco home to the most locations. And there's a lot of ways you can qualify to get into them. First and business class tickets will typically come with lounge access for most international travel, but airlines like American, United, and Delta restrict lounge entry for most domestic flights. Many major airlines also have branded credit cards that allow you to earn frequent flyer miles from everyday purchases to use toward free flights. You get to earn elite status when you reach certain spending thresholds. Status at an airline comes with a host of benefits like free seat upgrades, free checked bags, premium customer service, and of course, lounge access.
Y'all do know that most of this is just marketing to y'all, right? Most of this is just marketing to y'all, honestly. Like, I understand, I get it. Most of the time, honestly, for me, I'm getting to the airport in just enough time for me to be able to have 5 minutes before I get on my flight anyway. I don't even have time to be sitting there with lounge access. Now, the one place that I did like lounge access, which it came with Delta One, but you can get the credit card, right? So you can get the Delta credit card and you automatically get qualifications into the lounge, right? Otherwise, you got to pay for it or you got to meet a certain spending threshold in order to get there. All of it is just gamification in order to keep you spending or to keep you invested in order to get you there. If you do not do this based off of business, if you are not flying back and forth every other week in order to qualify from a business perspective, if you're not writing this off, if you're not doing it as a part of your job, I would suggest that y'all stop chasing perks. Stop chasing perks. They are just gamifying this in order to keep you guys invested so that y'all can continue to chase status. It's status. That's all it is status. Oh, I'm a platinum member or I'm a diamond member. Well, no, I'm going to get that just as a result of the fact that I'm flying so much. But I am not going to continue to chase this status because now, for example, Delta has overhauled, shout out to Brock, Delta has basically overhauled their program to where it is not a combination of, okay, so let me break it down. It used to be a combination of medallion qualification miles and spend, or how many flights you take per year plus spend. Now it's just 100% spend because too many people were qualifying, and now they're taking that away in order for you to meet certain thresholds to get platinum or diamond. And they're saying it's just whether or not you spend $35,000 a year individually. I think it's $35,000 a year, but $35,000 a year individually in flights throughout the entirety of the year in order to reach diamond medallion status. And then you start looking at it and you're like, damn, I spent $35,000 purposely in order to get to this diamond medallion status. And it don't even come with all of that. You know what I'm saying? It don't come with $35,000 worth of perks, in my opinion. It's all status. It's the same thing that a chain does for you. Chain, status. Don't hold no value for it, but it just gives you status. Unless you be able to flaunt it. If you can't leverage this stuff as a part of your everyday daily life, then I wouldn't suggest you going into it.
Modern lounges often include amenities like an open bar, unlimited food, spas, gym, and even local art installations.
In Boston specifically, we have a tap room, right, which really kind of leans into the Boston beer culture, but with a sapphire twist.
Chase, Capital One, and American Express also have their own lines of premium travel credit cards that are not airline specific. These cards earn points and miles that can then be transferred to a number of different
airlines. And I have the Chase Sapphire Reserve. I think it's the Reserve. Is it the preferred or the Reserve? Let's see what's going on here. What we got over here? Which one we got? I got the Reserve. So I got the Chase Sapphire Reserve. And I leverage it because I don't pay any interest because I make so many business purchases. But I leverage it. Sometimes I leverage it to get free food. Sometimes I leverage it in order to get hotel rooms. Sometimes I leverage it in order to get flights. And so, or sometimes I just get cash back. So sometimes they'll just give me a bunch of money back. They'll give me $3,000-$4,000 back as a result of all of the purchases that I made throughout the year. And we just go from there. So it can be beneficial if you are already utilizing it and already leveraging it from a business perspective. But to be chasing it as an individual is crazy. You wasting your money, you wasting your time. That's just the honest to God truth.
Airlines. Chase and Capital One are both in the early stages of creating a lounge network of their own. Capital One launched its first in 2021 in Dallas, and Chase opened its first U.S. lounge in Boston of May of 2023. Chase has announced the creation of 5 more.
Lounges continues to be the number one reason why a lot of our customers get and keep the card. So it was natural extension for us to move into creating our own proprietary lounge network.
Lounge investment and lower annual fees are keeping these cards competitive in the travel space to rival the American Express Platinum, which offers access to its signature Centurion Lounge system. And while these premium travel credit cards aren't cheap, they offer travel credit kickbacks of up to $300. The first Centurion Lounge was created in Las Vegas in 2013, and since then, American Express has added over 20 locations worldwide. The company currently operates 13 of them in the United States, with more on the way.
20% of overall foot volume on airlines.
Somebody said, gym, spa, who's spending that heck? Man, let me tell you something, bro. If you ain't been in some of these airport lounges, you missing it. DFW got the Delta lounges. Delta got 4 lounges at DTW. Not the DFW. Y'all sleeping on the Detroit airport. I've been to a lot of airports. The Detroit airport is one of the best airports in the entire country. DTW, Delta has 4 lounges, 2 huge ones. Well, I'm sorry, 1 really big one, 1 mid-sized one, and then 1 on both ends, depending on which flight that you're catching. that's a little bit smaller but still offers the same amenities and the same food. Then you can take a shower. You can go in there and go into the quiet rooms. You can do all of that. I think that the best Sky Lounge that I've been to is the Delta Sky Lounge that's in Los Angeles. They just redid it. You can overlook all of the planes and stuff. Sky Lounge in Los Angeles is the best one that I've been to from Delta, the Sky Miles Lounge. But sometimes it just be so full that you don't even want to be bothered with it.
Our business travel, our high frequency travelers and whatnot, and the other 80% of people that travel maybe only once a year. And so you don't necessarily have a loyalty to an airline at that point, but you may have loyalty to a credit card.
Premium tickets for those in business class are becoming more readily available, and customers appear more willing to pay for the additional space.
Did y'all know that Mint is shutting down? I just got the notification. Shout out to TBRG37 for joining the Chasers. Did y'all know that Mint is shutting down and they pushing everybody over to Credit Karma? I'm going to get into that tomorrow. Might be a quick hit, though. Let's continue over with the show.
For example, from 2009 to 2019, the share of premium Delta tickets sold rose dramatically. United expects to increase its number of premium seats by 75% by 2026. Overall, the average airline ticket price has also steadily decreased over the past 25 years. Adjusting for inflation, domestic flights averaged over $575 in 1995. Today, the average trip costs $382.
Historically, the difference between first class and economy was some eye-popping number. Today, it's much more reasonable, and it's, the minute you try it, the more likely you're going to try it again in the future.
As lounges become more accessible, overcrowding can become a problem.
We added 900 seats last year. We are adding 2,700 seats this year. So that is every action we're taking. That's what we're taking it for, so that our customers won't have to wait.
Delta told CNBC that it is not considering a reservation system for access to its lounges.
Reservation is a complicated system at the end because you're arriving from a flight or you taking an Uber from the city, you're 15, 20 minutes late. Do I hold your seat? Do I give it away? It works in the restaurant scene when you have a table assigned to you. This is a little bit more complicated.
American Express allows its Centurion Lounge guests to check in via a mobile app, but access is still not guaranteed. Capital One is currently experimenting with a digital waitlist system.
We are testing.
Let me tell you something. If I'm paying for this, if paying these fees, and I got these crazy cards and all of this stuff, which is the only reason why I got the cards in the first place, in order to get into certain lounges and stuff, and I don't get access like I'm supposed to, count me out, fam. That's why when I got the Chase Sapphire Reserve, I canceled my American Express Platinum. I don't even need it no more. I'm straight. I'm good. But anyways, long story short, the point of this whole thing is that they're gamifying the idea in order to keep you invested in these airport lounge systems. And they're giving you status, which is one of the easiest way to keep you invested into it, which doesn't necessarily add value into your life. Status does not translate into more money, but status translates into more money spent. Status does not, it's like when you go to the car wash and they give you that little card and it'd be like, hey, if you stamp this card and you get seven washes, you get one free. Well, you wasn't even looking to get 7 washes, but you're going to go over there and spend more money because you're gamifying the idea of then getting something free. You feel like you're getting a perk as a result of it, all right?